Now, thank you for all your texts and comments. We've a lot coming up in the second part of the show. Betty Bible Mulcahy will be coming in to talk to us. We'll also be talking in a minute to Alison Dowdall from the EPA about radon gas. A big, big topic. You don't want to miss that discussion. The Green Room judges, Mary Boland, Mary O'Neill and Pat McAvoy will be coming in to talk about all things arts. And are we going to play a certain song in the next hour? If you hear Bob Marley, The Sun Is Shining, then we want you to text the word holiday, HOLIDAY, to 083 333 975, or you can call 051 846 123. This is our special thanks to Harvey Travel, Cork Airport and WLR. A sensational holiday to give away to Lanzarote or a Mediterranean cruise. We've given away 2 holidays already in the month of January, 2 more holidays to give away. If you win today, you will be in the draw for tomorrow. So it'll be a daily qualifier to come on air for tomorrow. So if you win today, it doesn't mean that you're actually going to win the holiday, but you're in the draw for tomorrow. So the best of luck with that. So the song is The Sun Is Shining by Bob Marley. When you hear that, text holiday to 083 333 975, text or WhatsApp. Special hello to Peggy Murphy. I met Peggy yesterday in town, and I think it was Pauline from Tara Blinds. And special hello to Peggy and to Joe Murphy. I had a text from a journalist colleague, friend of mine, who is up in the north, and he's looking to try and contact a gentleman by the name of Mick McCarrick. That's McCarrick. In 1993, he was a guard sent to Tory Island. At the time, he was stationed in the Donegal mainland. He's now retired, possibly. He's from Waterford. My friend Anton McCabe says, bit of a needle in a haystack. Doesn't mean that he's necessarily living in Waterford. He doesn't actually know if the gentleman is dead or still alive. But if anybody knows of a Mick McCarrick, McCarrick, or if his whereabouts, could you get in touch with us, please? Anton is doing some research on some matter that he had to deal with in the past. Damien had Una Dunphy on earlier, says Joe. They said they wouldn't prop up a Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael government. Why not? If you can get some of your policies enacted and delivered for things for Waterford. That's why you should be in government. You should focus on that and not in opposition. You can get nothing enacted if you're in opposition. Another person has texted in a picture of driving on the road. This person wasn't driving as they took it, but the pillion passenger was, as to say, the person beside them. And it's only 50 metres. You can't see 50 metres past. So the driving is very, very difficult out there. Damien, my son, is 23. His social welfare payment is €40 a week because he lives at home and we are working. A woman has phoned in to 051 846 123. She says her mother is 67 and only gets €19 pension. She's not entitled to any more because her husband is working and is a little bit younger than her. €19 pension. Other people commenting on People Before Profit, they should know their own policies. Sean Reinhardt texted in to say that People Before Profit do deserve a vote, from what he is saying in his text, and other people saying that they wanted to hear more about what People Before Profit were saying in terms of exact policies. We'll continue our election debates as we go on. Firstly, radon gas. Do you know how bad it is in your house, underneath your house? Is it in your house? I'm going to talk now to Alison Dowdall. I think Alison is on the line. Alison, good morning. For joining us this morning. You are a scientist with the Environmental Protection Agency's Radiological Protection Office. That sounds very grandiose. Is there many of you working there in that particular section of the EPA?
There is, yeah. There's a big collection of us. We do a lot of work on the environment. One of the main areas that I work on is on radon gas, and we have been doing some publicity in Waterford just to raise awareness of the problem in the area. Radon is a radioactive gas. It causes about 300 cases of lung cancer every year in Ireland, so it's the biggest cause of lung cancer after smoking. It's got no colour, taste or smell.
Just on that point, the figures are unquestionable, are they? Those figures you've just said. It definitely causes that. Like, it can't be a combination of other things, can it?
No, it does cause lung cancer, and the World Health Organization have classified it as a carcinogen. It comes from years of studies looking at miners working underground and looking at rates of lung cancer in them. And studies throughout the world have shown that radon does cause lung cancer.
No doubt about that, it does cause lung cancer. Again, those figures, is that extrapolated from a national figure and I suppose then brought down to a local level? You can't say exactly that 300 people get lung cancer from radon gas every year in Ireland, but in terms of the statistics, it is more than likely.
It is. So the way, smoking is the main cause of lung cancer.
Yeah.
And then radon. If there were no radon in Ireland, the smoking would be the main cause. So then we look at Ireland particularly has a problem with radon more than many other countries.
Okay.
Our average would be about the 8th highest in the world.
Oh.
And it's all to do with our geology. We know that that's adding to the lung cancers in Ireland. Now, smokers would be at more risk because I suppose their lungs are being damaged from the two things, from the combination of smoking and from radon in the home.
Okay. So just explain to our listeners, as you were going to do there, what is radon gas?
Yeah, so it's a gas that's found in rocks and soils in the ground. It's found everywhere. It has no colour, taste or smell, so no way of knowing if it's getting into your home. So it's produced in the ground. What happens is we build our houses on top of the ground, and then the gas can get in through any little crack or gap in the foundations of the house or where services and utilities come in and leave the house. So it'll make its way through any little gap that it can find. And once it gets into the house, then it can build up to high levels. It can be easy to get rid of in the house, and sometimes extra ventilation can be enough to reduce the levels in the home. As I said, it gives us no warning signs that it's there. So the only way to know if your home has a problem is to carry out a test. It's pretty straightforward to carry out the test. There's 6 companies on our website that do the testing, so you can look at those. It's on www.radon.ie, and it costs about €60. I suppose the reason why we're trying to highlight the problem in Waterford is that we know from the houses that we've tested in Waterford that about 1 in 5 homes has a problem. Ideally, your radon level should be below 200 becquerels per metre cubed is how we measure it. So 1 in 5 of the homes that we test will have a problem. Now, we find homes in Waterford with high levels around Waterford City, around Kilmeaden, Kilmacthomas, and around Tramore and some around Dungarvan.
Okay, and that's based on the rock formation and the sediment within the ground. Is it a case that radon, like if you inhaled some radon gas, it's not going to kill you? Are we looking at continued and, I suppose, prolonged exposure to a certain level of radon gas over time?
Exactly, that's it. So, as you say, it's a long-term risk. So it's over a lifetime of living in a house with high radon levels. So, certainly in the short term, there's no need for anybody to panic or to worry. Just, if you are concerned, carry out that test, see the level in your home. But as I say, it would be over a 10 to 15 year period. And the longer you live in a home with a high radon level, again, you're putting yourself at risk over time.
Okay, and are we looking at mainly older houses? Do new houses or houses in the last 20 years, do they, by law, have to have radon barriers put in? Or what is the requirement for builders at present?
Yeah, so it depends on the area where you're building new houses. Now, we do have a map on our website where you can look up the radon risk in the area where you live or where you're planning to build. So every new home in the country is required to have what's called a standby sump, and that's where a cavity has been left under the floor slab of the house with a pipe in the cavity that comes out just to the side of the house. So that cavity is there that if you test the house when you move into it and find that you have a high level, you can you can continue the pipe up along the outside wall of the house and vent any radon out to the outdoor air. In addition to that, if you're building a house in a high radon area, then yes, you need to install a radon membrane as well over the entire footprint of the building.
And if for example, you talk about that sump and that you have to do maybe extra work, that falls on yourself, I presume, to do it rather than the builder. Like, is there a responsibility on the builder to go back to the builder? Is he or she culpable for something like that, do you know?
Unfortunately not. Because, radon is a natural gas that's found in the environment. Some houses can have a problem if they have a crack or a gap in them. The levels differ between neighbouring houses. The other thing that plays a big part in your radon levels is how you use the home. So heating the home, opening the windows, opening the doors, all of those things have an effect. So in fact, it's more to do with the occupancy of the house. So it is up to the individual to take responsibility.
Yeah, like again, we're talking about trying to preserve heat and trying to make sure your house is properly insulated. You don't want to be insulating your house and doing all retrofitting if you're keeping radon in the house.
No, I mean that's a good point. All of those things are really important in the house to make yourself more comfortable, while you're living there. But once you maintain adequate ventilation, so once you're adding, fresh air into the house that's diluting those radon levels, then it should be okay. So it's all about the ventilation in the home. And certainly with some of those retrofit measures, adding ventilation and maintaining it is very important and it is required.
Okay, so just to remind our listeners, you can buy one of these radon testers, these little machines. They're around €60, is that what you said?
That's right.
Where can you get them?
There's a list of companies on our website, www.radon.ie, or we have a free phone number. So if anyone does have any concerns about radon in their home, they can ring us on 1-800-300-600. Okay,
and I have more questions to check out the EPA website as well. Do you think it's something that people are aware of, Alison? Is it something that they really take cognizance of?
We do see an increase in the numbers of people who've tested, over recent years. We'd love to see more people testing. As I say, I mean, it is something that can be, there are simple solutions to radon. If you do the test, and you find that your level is low, well, then you have the peace of mind,
yes,
of knowing that it's okay. If you do have a problem, as I say, you can talk to us. It can be just adding extra ventilation to the house, or sometimes it can be installing the radon sump in the home. But once that's done, we see the levels drop instantly. So again, it's not something that you have to worry about if you just take responsibility for it and test and then carry out any work that's required.
Alison, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Damien.
Alison, thank you very much for that. Damien, our health system is broken. I've been waiting for further tests for bloods. Need to do biopsies to confirm this, but waiting nearly a year, living with this worry every day. This is life in Ireland. Oh dear. Damien, can you please play the song, the Christy Moore song, I Hate Politicians? No, I'm not going to play that song. I'm not going to play that, Betty, am I not? No. But we might well be playing Bob Marley's Sun Is Shining. If you do hear that song in the next few minutes, text in the word holiday to 083 3333 975, text or WhatsApp, or you can call 051 846 123. Does radon gas cause pneumonia? I'm sorry, I've just got these texts in now a second ago. Also, Tony texted, I have 2 radon test capsules in my home the last 14 years. Can these be now tested or are they out of date? As far as I understand, Tony, go on the EPA website or go on radon.ie. Type in radon.ie and you can have a look, and they'll tell you the expiry date for these particular capsules. Eddie in the city says, if you extract gas from these pipes, surely you are extracting the badly needed fresh air in that room. That's another point, Eddie. Again, radon.ie for more information. We are joined by Betty Bible Mulcahy. Good morning.
Good morning, Damien.
And I'm going to see if I can get Jean to come in as well now in a second. So we'll be talking all things Irish dancing in a minute. Betty Bible Mulcahy is joining me. Thank you very much. And her friend Jean is here. We're not going to talk to Jean, so it's okay. On your award, 50th anniversary of the founding of Kogel, which you co-founded with Patsy Sheridan.
No.
Tell us about Kogel first.
Well, Cogall, it started 50 years ago.
Yes.
And first of all, there was just the one on commission. And the prominent Irish dancing teachers broke away because there was too many restrictions. It was like the GAA. You couldn't go to a dance. No, really. You couldn't go to a dance. And they had been on to me because my association, as they said, with foreign dancing, which was ballet and ballroom. In those days, we didn't have Latin American, but it was ballroom and ballet I was doing, as well as the Irish dancing. But they had those restrictions, and I mean, if you went to a dance, you could be suspended. That was foreign dancing.
Wow. So
the Irish dancing teachers, the prominent ones now, such as Rory O'Connor, Harry McCaffrey, Miss Kane, Cora Cadwell, there was quite a lot of them. They came down to my house in Waterford and asked me would I join them, that they were going to break away from the big association, as we call it. And we did. And
was that a big decision to make?
Oh, it was a big decision.
Yeah,
yes,
I can imagine.
Yeah, because in those days we had no funds. They had all the big trophies, the silver cups and all the rest of it. So we had kind of nothing. We were starting with nothing. And a friend of mine, Philip Carl, who used to teach with my mother and her friend Joan Toms years ago, he came with us as well. And I recruited a past pupil of mine who was teaching, Betty Threadgold, and she came with us as well. So there was a few others. Marion Sharp was another one, but she didn't continue with the dancing, whereas Betty Threadgold did, and her daughters are teaching with her now, you know.
Have you any idea how many people you've put through your...
No, I could not count them. There are so many, and...
I'd say it's thousands.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Has to.
Yeah. And my daughter Jean now, she's a qualified teacher and adjudicator. Faith, my youngest daughter, is a qualified teacher. David O'Neill, who is Dr. David O'Neill actually, he's a qualified teacher. He's in the school with us. And my granddaughter, Dawn Mulcahy McGrath, she's married to Ken McGrath, the hurler, the famous hurler.
I know them and I see the pictures up on Instagram and
yes.
all that. Are you into the modern social media things, or do you let others do that?
No, I can barely answer the phone.
Did you ever help? Was there a little story about helping President O'Donnell change a tyre?
No, not change a tyre.
What happened?
First of all, I never miss a class. I go to a class no matter what the weather is.
Yes.
But this year, it was, I don't know what year it was, but it was snowing very, very heavily.
Okay.
And I said, I had a class in New Ross at the time. I'm going to the class. So Billy said to me, that's my husband, no, you're not going. The weather is too bad. No, I'm going. And if I'm going, I'm going. So he said, right, I'll drive you. So as we were going down the road to Glenmore in those days was completely different. It was an old road. And we came across this car kind of in the ditch. And if it went another little bit, it would have fallen quite a bit down, you know. So we stopped anyhow, and this man was unconscious. So we tried to get him out of the car because it was in a very precarious position.
Yes.
So we got him out anyhow and into our old car, and he just said, my briefcase. So we got his briefcase and brought it, and we brought him to a doctor in New Ross. And the doctor brought him then to the hospital. So we had a class, small class, but we took the class anyhow. And afterwards we went up to see him in the hospital. And we discovered he was Carol O'Donnell. In those days he wasn't president. So then years afterwards, when he was president, we were running ballroom competitions up in Jury's Hotel at the time. And Billy was saying to me, wouldn't it be great now if we could get Carol Lawley, the president, down? Well, I said, just ask him. So we did. And he was delighted to come down and came with his wife and another friend. So we had a wonderful day. We had, I think it was the Barrack Street Band we had playing outside, and we had Irish dancing outside, and then he came in, we had ballroom dancing on in the main ballroom, and we had a guard water and a beautiful meal and all that lot. It was just fantastic.
You had a fantastic day as well on Saturday, was it, or Sunday? When did you have your award?
Saturday.
Saturday in the Mansion House.
The Mansion House.
And the full spread.
The full spread, yes, beautiful.
And it's lovely.
Yes.
And why, I suppose, like, there's so much to talk about and so many memories. It's been marvellous. Do you still enjoy it? Do you still
I love it.
Do you still love it all?
Oh, I love it. And Jean and myself, now we make all the costumes for our dancers. That's why we're quite busy at the moment.
And we heard the Older People's Council talking about just people as they get on. It's great to remain active mentally and physically, to be out there, to be working with younger people, to be just involved in something you love. Like they talk about the idea that you spend your life, and if you hit on something that you really love, like how lucky How lucky do you feel, Betty?
Very lucky. Very lucky. I mean, I'm 88.
Wow.
And I'm still going strong, and I'm dancing and teaching and what have you. Now, I don't teach the Irish dancing because it's far too strenuous and the legs wouldn't last. But I do ballroom and the Latin American, and I love that.
Do you have any favourite dancing? Is that an unfair question?
It's unfair because when I'm doing something, I just love it.
Yes, of course.
And the choreography, you see, we did that now at Tops of the Town years ago, you know. And the Lions Club, Strictly, which was fantastic. And you see, we miss that now. Normally we would be in the middle of our practice for Strictly, but we're not doing it this year. And that's why I started the class, because the dancers want it. So I said, we'll do it now with a view to competition. So I said to him, now, I'm not there to entertain you. I'm there to teach you. You bring your own partner. I don't want anybody on their own, just couples. So I have 5 beautiful couples, and we're after dancing in several competitions.
Lovely.
And loving every minute of it.
And do you watch Dancing with the Stars as well?
I watch it, yes.
Go on.
Not mad about it. Now, I'll tell you now.
Mary Kennedy is our vote in this. We like
yes,
Mary.
she's a lovely girl, lovely person. Who was very good the other night was the hurler.
Yeah, the Kilkenny hurler.
He was very good. He did foxtrot and he was gorgeous. And the chap from Fair City.
Yeah. Can you teach?
Very good. And that Lottie.
Lottie's good. Can you teach anybody to dance?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
Even somebody like me who wouldn't be very good. Like, everybody can learn to a certain standard, can't you?
I mean, if you're at Strictly now over the last 11 years we did it.
Yes.
We taught raw beginners, and they danced with I wouldn't say a professional dancer, but somebody who danced before, you know.
A lovely text in. Fabulous, glamorous legend that is Betty, an inspiration to us all. My daughter has been dancing with the Mulcahy Bible School of Dance. They all love Betty. That's from Jean and Faith, and other people texting in as well. The old Charlie's Angels, I'm told.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, long ago, pantomime, Tops of the Town. Yes, they were all involved in it.
Listen, we'll get you in again. We'll have another little chat as we go along. It's lovely to have you in. First time having you in on with me, and I know you've been with Billy and Eamon before, so thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Continued success to you and all your family, to Dawn and to everybody involved with the dancing in the school, and for all you've done for so many people over the years. Well done.
Oh, thank you, Damien.
Betty, thank you very much. Jean, thank you very much as well. We'll be back with our holiday competition winner just after this. Nikki, good morning, Nikki.
Morning, Damien.
How are you getting on?
Not too bad. And yourself?
I'm sure, wonderful, thanks, wonderful. Yourself and your partner, Janet Stafford, is it? Bishopsfield, are you living in the Williamstown Road, you are?
We are, yeah.
Lovely. Congratulations, Nikki. You are in the draw for the holiday for tomorrow.
That's grand. Thanks a million, Damien.
You're very, very welcome. There's 2 holiday locations left, Lanzarote or a Mediterranean cruise. Any idea what you go for now?
I say she goes for Lanzarote, is it?
So Janet and yourself and Bishopsfield in Williamstown Road. Nicky, you'll be up against some other contestants tomorrow. Your daily qualifiers will have to come on air and for Friday's final. So you're around tomorrow and we'll see how we get on. And this is all courtesy of Harvey Travel and Cork Airport. And thank you very much, Harvey Travel and Cork Airport. It's great to be in with a chance to win, isn't it, Nicky?
It is. It's lovely, Jamie. It's lovely.
Do you want to say a little request? Do you want to say a little request to anybody?
Oh, just as everyone that know me. I mean, that's all.
Lovely, Nicky. Listen, thanks very much, pleasure, and thanks very much for and best of luck to you.
That's grand. Thanks a million, then. Thank you.
Thank you. There's Nicky there and his partner Janet Stafford, Bishopsfield, Williamstown Road. They're in the draw for tomorrow for the holiday. Thank you everybody for texting in the word holiday. Damien, can you please ask motorists again to put on their lights? I've seen around 20 cars between town and the Dunmore Road with no lights on. Conditions are very poor. Another texter saying on the Tramore Road there's going to be an accident if they don't turn on their lights. Just very simple, turn on your lights. You don't have to keep them at dipped and then turn on your fog lights as well. Damien, hope you're having a great day. I am. Imelda, thank you. I'm just trying to figure out, anyone advise me on either in Dungarvan or Waterford to give violin and guitar lessons to a 10-year-old. I'm finding it impossible to find places to give these. I'd be willing to travel. And this person is saying either private or group, maybe with a group. So I know a lot of the places are booked up at present. But Imelda has texted and we have her phone number. Anybody has any spaces on any particular locations? I know WAMA do classes here, other places do other classes. Please give us a call on 051 846 123 and we will see if we can get this person and their young child a 10-year-old guitar or violin lessons. Damien, I'm just wondering why our sulkies, should they have lights, says Bob. I've just passed one on the road. Again, that's one of the issues that the council were talking about last week, the sulkies on the roads, in terms of I suppose looking to see whether they should have their own location for doing some sulky racing or not. Want to give a special mention to everybody in Stradbally. Hoods in the Woods is taking place. It's the legend of Little Red Riding Hood and Robin. Performances at 7 o'clock on January the 23rd and 24th and at 8 o'clock on the 25th in the Barron Hall in Stradbally. Barron Hall, Stradbally. Adults, €10. Children, only €5. Tickets from the village shop in Stradbally. Anne has texted in about that, Anne Fox. So best of luck to everybody. The Hoods in the Woods, I know they do a lovely performance every year in Stradbally, and the best of luck to everybody involved. Stay with us. We are going to be talking to some people involved in the arts and theatre scenes regarding professional and amateur dramatics. Now, welcome back to the programme. Mary Cummins has phoned in to send her best wishes to Betty, and a number of other people have texted in as well regarding music lessons. Bernie Coffey in Dungarvan is a fabulous guitar teacher, says this texter, and a caller to 051 846 123. Great with children. And Caroline King has the number if you want, so we can give that number to that lady. Damien, I've passed many cyclists around Butlerstown with no lights on and they're all dressed in black. This is madness, says Eileen. Again, if you're out there at all, the weather is particularly heavy. That fog is heavy, Pat, out there.
It is. It's not pleasant.
It's thick. It really is. Listen, it's a pleasure to have you in. First time in on the programme. I know you've done a lot of work with Mary over the years. I'm delighted to have you in. I love reading your reviews. And
thank you very much.
You're really, you hit the nail on the head with the review, so fair play to you. You're one of the best I've seen. You are here to talk about the inaugural Waterford News and Star Green Room Awards. Mary Boland, thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Damien.
Great to see you. Mary O'Neill, thanks very much for joining us.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again since this morning, yeah. Tell us a little bit about, first, these awards. They celebrate diversity, scale and quality of the theatre scene in Waterford. Tell us a little bit about it, Pat.
Well, not only the theatre scene, but anything that happens in a kind of a public performance.
Yes.
Whether it's an art exhibition, whether it's a history lecture, which are being done around the town from time to time. Musical theatre is a huge thing, obviously, and plays, drama, obviously, and opera, anything like that. And I started the awards, I suppose. I started writing for the News and Star in 2011. I became conscious that every year we nominated various people for awards at the end of the year, but I just felt it wasn't enough, that I wanted to be more inclusive, and I wanted to celebrate other people's involvement in shows, in lectures, in anything to do with the arts, exhibitions, and from that then I broadened it to bring in nominations. So what I was doing for the last 9 years was I've been having 5 nominations in each category, where possible, and from that then I chose a winner. But this is we are moving it beyond the printed edition of it now to move it onto the stage. So Sunday week we're having the inaugural Green Room Awards night, it's going to be a huge concert. It's going to be a great night, and the awards will be presented on the night. At this stage, the only person who knows who won the awards is me. And I take a long, long time over them. I was at a youth show in Dungarvan last night, and I was at 2 youth shows in the Theatre Royal last week, and I was already making notes for the 2020 awards. So
brilliant. We're blessed with really good arts and theatrical scene in Waterford and beyond.
Yes.
And Liam Murphy, I presume, will be critical. He'll be doing critical analysis of your night that night.
I hope he is. A lot of people think Liam and myself are kind of, I would say, adversaries,
well.
but Liam and I went to the Manor School together, and we know each other since we were small children.
Yeah.
And we've both been involved in a lot of the same shows, and he produced. Now it's directed, but in those days it's produced. But Liam produced quite a number of plays that I was directly involved in as playing parts. So we're actually great friends.
Excellent, it's lovely. Special hello to Liam. Mary, why did the Theatre Royal get involved with this?
Okay, yeah. So Mary Francis approached us some months ago.
That's the editor of the News and Star.
That's the editor of News and Star, exactly. And with this idea, and it is a great idea. And what's important for the Theatre Royal is to support all things arts and culture in Waterford. And we felt that this was a good opportunity for us to do that a little bit more. So the Theatre Royal has made itself available for the evening of the awards. Our staff have come behind it and will contribute to the evening. And I suppose my point to Mary Francis from the off was, yes, whatever we can do to create more awareness for the vast and varied arts and culture scene in Waterford City and County, we're behind it 100%.
Mary O'Neill, why do you think these are good awards? Why do you think this is something different, something special?
Well, I think to echo, I suppose, what Mary, the other Mary, has said, and Pat, we're living in a city and county that is so rich in the arts. And I suppose I've had the privilege of presenting an arts programme here in WLR for over 4 years. And in that time, my eyes have been really opened to what's going on a shoestring budget in most cases, from community groups, arts groups, everything from visual art to dance to writers groups to the spoken word to slam poetry to theatre, right across, the length and breadth of the city and county. And it's not, I suppose, celebrated enough. So I think it's really lovely that it's a night for this. From my perspective, I suppose, I was asked to be a judge, and I need to stress that the vast majority of the adjudication is done by Pat. That's really important to say. Pat. But there are a few of us who were asked to compile a short list of arts and community groups across Waterford City and County for the People's Choice Award. So essentially we're not really the judges. We've just put a shortlist out there and the people can vote. And if you actually go onto the Waterford News and Star's website and click through, you can't miss it. There's a click through where you can vote, and you have the likes of SCOW, which is the Symphony Club of Waterford, Goma, the Art Gallery, Waterford Walls, the Umrama Travel Writers Festival, Imagine Arts Festival, Bark Street Concert Band, the Lions Club Christmas Carol Concert for the St Vincent de Paul, Curtain Call Theatre, Waterford Youth Arts and Little Red Kettle. And I think Mary and Pat will agree that it was actually very hard to narrow that down to 10.
Yeah, and there you have 10 groups, which is extraordinary. And I was delighted to have the support of my fellow judges on coming up with a shortlist. But this is the People's Choice Award, and that's what it's actually called. So it's going to be great that people can vote themselves and decide, the Symphony Club are for me, or the Scows for me, or the the Waterford walls, I really enjoy them and so on. And it's great that that's going to happen.
How do people vote in the People's Choice Awards?
There's a Facebook page on that people can vote on.
It's on the Waterford News and Star website. It's quite simple, actually. You literally just click through to a link and you tick the one you want and submit it.
Okay, so there's no point ringing in here now. Literally, it has to be done online.
It's online, but it's very, very easy. And I think it's the 30th of January is the deadline on that one as well.
And there's a lot of shares of this on Facebook at the moment, so you couldn't possibly miss it. But there's also a bursary award on the night.
Okay, tell me about that.
The bursary award is to support of €1,000 to support anyone who is directly involved in the arts, or a group even, who needs support at this particular time. And we have quite a number of applications already, I'm delighted to say, because you're always afraid when you do something like this, people say, I have no chance of winning that, so I won it. But actually quite a number of people think they have a chance, which is great. And that'll be awarded on the night.
What other awards? Is there a Lifetime Achievement Award?
There's a Lifetime Achievement Award this year, and this is the first time we've done it. I'm delighted to say we're doing it, and that will be awarded. That's one of the final. It will be the final award of the night. There's a lot of awards to get through.
Don't give us any clues, no?
Well, I'll give you one clue anyway. There'll be no speeches afterwards. So if somebody wants to thank their mother, their father, their father-in-law, their agent or whatever, they can do it at their own after-show party. But
how can people get tickets for this event? Is it nearly sold out? What's the situation?
Yeah, it's selling very well, actually.
It is, yes.
And through Theatre Royal box office, either over the phone or in person or online, theatreroyal.ie. Tickets are available there. I'd love to just come back to the bursary a little bit.
Yes.
What was really difficult for us to come up with that shortlist was the notion of we were talking about groups, companies, organisations, individuals who we see every day, and we're very, very aware of those who are not public facing, artists who are busy working away either in schools or in their own garages or wherever. So it was really difficult and challenging because somewhere in our minds we were considering those people as well. So I would encourage everybody to apply for that bursary award. It's available to anybody, supported by Creative Ireland and Waterford Council, but it's available to anybody who is simply working in the arts, trying to create something either on their own, in their kitchen, wherever, and it's available just to support you. Not your work, but to support you, the artist.
Yeah, Mary, you've covered so many different people that work in the arts, and something like that would be just so valuable to some.
Oh, it really would. And, and I'm sure everyone here would agree that a lot of the really tough thing about working in the arts is applying for funding, going through that process, the paperwork. It's all very, very difficult. And to get something like this, I think it would be invaluable just in terms of being able to maybe get a project over the line, maybe put something on stage in West Waterford, maybe get an exhibition open. Like
even just to pay your electricity bill and your rent for a month.
Yeah, just to do something like that. I think it would really make a difference. And I think as well, people are so passionate and it's lovely to see, but people still need to earn their bread and butter. Like you said, you still have bills to pay and all that. And really, I suppose, I've interviewed people who work in the arts community who just say it is so constantly hard. It is so hard to make a living, and anything that can help, I think.
Well, without getting political, we all know that funding is not enough. It just is not. And promises made to double funding, we know, haven't been realised. And it needs to be doubled because it is a reality that people simply can't pay their rent or their mortgage.
And in writing reviews, Pat, and in trying to get the essence of performances and how much it means to audiences, does that come into your mind that you're saying these people, you want to be honest with them, want to give a good review, but you feel for them as well?
You do. And, just because you have a pen doesn't mean you can be deliberately cruel. I can honestly say it is rare for me to leave any performance without having seen something that's really good in it. And you try to say that as well. I mean, you have to be honest too. And if there are things that are wrong, there's no harm in pointing them out.
Yeah.
But there's no point in being deliberately cruel.
No.
Yeah.
And that would be my opinion. And I've read a lot of books on literary criticism, and a lot of people say that it's easy and it's entertaining to have the cheap shot.
What a good point. Yeah.
It is easy, and it is like there are loads of things, like his singing brought tears to my ears. I shall never forget his Hamlet, but I will try. The list is endless, but I'd want to be really annoyed with a lax production before I would be really, really critical,
Because everybody puts in as much as they can. There may be some nights that a performance just doesn't hit for different reasons.
That's right.
And we just don't know what people are going through as well.
Yes, yeah.
If people are having financial or personal difficulties, you just don't know.
No. And that people are doing this for the love of it. Nobody goes out to give deliberately to give a poor performance.
Yeah.
Everybody goes out to do their best. But with the best will in the world, things go wrong. I've been there when things go wrong. I've been on stage when things go wrong, and I've done it myself.
Any real funny ones? What was the funniest thing that ever went wrong, do you think?
I remember producing Showboat one time, and Des Manahan, of all people, forgot to turn up to sing a song. So if he's out there listening to it, I remind him of that.
Just forgot to turn up.
Yeah,
just didn't turn up.
To turn up.
What did you do?
Just the orchestra kept going.
Yeah.
You know, and nobody died. Everything went on.
Remember what song it was? No.
I can't. It was a number in the second act, but Des was up in the dressing room, and he said,
I should
"Oh
be somewhere."
God, I think I'm in."
And that's the beauty of live performances.
Yeah.
Do you love your job?
I do. I love writing. I've been involved with theatre since I think I was 16. Wow. That was my first involvement, and I've been involved constantly since. I was acting most of the time, and I went into musicals. I did a lot of musicals, a lot of drama, and then I went into production. I was directing for quite some time. Then I became principal of a school, so I didn't really have the time any longer. And time moves on, and I love going to see shows. I was at South Pacific last year. I did 3 different South Pacifics. I played Luther Billis twice in it, and I directed it. I think I directed it twice, actually, now that I come to think of it. But anyway, you know, it's great to see young people playing the parts that we played a generation ago now. People often ask me, would I like to be on stage again? I would if I could be playing those parts again. But I look fairly ridiculous. As well as that, they're all far better.
Sunday, February the 2nd is the big vote. The night itself is the 2nd, is it?
It is.
The night itself is the 2nd. And go on to the News and Star website.
Yeah, it's Waterford-news.ie, and on the homepage there's a click-through for the People's Choice Award. And that's open until the 30th of January. And like I said, it couldn't be simpler in terms of just clicking who you want to vote for.
And it's going to be a great night. Thin Gin are sponsoring it, so there's a lovely reception beforehand.
Great concert.
And, you know, a lot of groups have already purchased their tickets. It's going to be crack.
Theatre Royal website for that. Pat McAvoy, thanks so much for coming into us.
Thank you very much.
Mary O'Neill, thank you very much. Mary Boland, thank you very much.
Thanks, Damien.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody, for your texts and comments this morning. Everybody that entered the competition. Thank you, Julie, for producing. People texting in about politics. Jimmy Fitzgerald lost a pair of bifocal glasses in Ferrybank area. Anybody found them, please pop them in to the Spar shop. We are back tomorrow with a lot more, and the great Jeff Harris is up next. And Pat is still smiling. Fair play to you, Pat.